Did you know that 1985 produced more one-hit wonders than any other year in the decade? While everyone remembers Walk Like an Egyptian and Everybody Wants to Rule the World, these 10 massive hits from the same year have been largely erased from our collective memory. From instrumental themes that topped the charts to synth-pop gems that disappeared overnight, these songs were everywhere until they weren't. The question is, will you recognize all of them, or will you be shocked to discover you've been humming songs for decades without knowing who made them? Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. The synthetic love anthem that topped charts. Remember that weird synth track about being completely consumed by someone? That was Obsession by Animotion, which climbed to number 6 on Billboard in 1985 before the band essentially vanished from the charts. The song sits in that peculiar memory space where you instantly recognize the chorus but probably can't name who sang it. Those hypnotic male-female vocal exchanges between Bill Wadhams and Astrid Plain created an unsettling vibe that matched the song's theme of unhealthy fixation. What's strange is how this song about stalker-like behavior somehow became a romantic anthem. The lyrics, "You're my obsession, who do you want me to be to make you sleep with me?" somehow flew under everyone's radar in the mid-80s. The feminist anthem that radio silenced. If you grew up in the 80s, you probably remember a haunting voice whispering, "Hush, hush, keep it down now, voices carry." But this wasn't just a catchy tune. It was actually a bold feminist statement hiding in plain sight on the charts. The song's video, which won MTV's Video of the Year, showed Man being constantly silenced by her controlling boyfriend. The story builds to that powerful concert hall scene where Man finally stands up and shouts, "He said shut up, he said shut up," a moment that felt truly revolutionary back then. The instrumental theme that outsold most pop songs. Can you name a song without lyrics that hit number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1985? That electronic earworm was Axel F by Harold Faltermeyer, the theme from Beverly Hills Cop. This catchy instrumental became so popular that it escaped the movie that birthed it. People who've never seen Eddie Murphy as Axel Foley still recognize those distinctive synthesizer notes and electronic percussion. The song's success was unprecedented. Instrumentals rarely made the top 10 in the 1980s, especially ones created on a Roland Jupiter 8 synthesizer and Linn drum machine. It proved a simple melody could capture everyone's imagination without a single word. The fantasy film ballad that disappeared like its movie. Remember that dreamy, ethereal song about a never-ending story that was former Kajagoogoo frontman Limahl's solo hit that reached number 17 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1985? What's interesting is that the song was actually different depending on where you heard it. The American version featured Beth Anderson, while Europeans heard Limahl singing with fellow Brit Mandy Newton. Most Americans never knew they were listening to a different version than the rest of the world. Despite the film becoming a cult classic, the song quickly faded from radio. Limahl, who'd already had success with Kajagoogoo's Too Shy, couldn't turn this moderate hit into a lasting American career. The anti-hookup anthem that preached patience. In the middle of the charged 1980s, one hit song stood out by telling everyone to keep their clothes on. We Don't Have to Take Our Clothes Off by Jermaine Stewart reached number 5 on Billboard in 1986, though it first appeared on charts in late 1985. This upbeat dance track promoted getting to know someone before getting physical. The song gained unexpected meaning during the AIDS crisis, as its message about taking relationships slowly matched public health advice about safe sex. The R&B crossover that beat Prince at his own game. Did you know that a group of high school friends from Flint, Michigan created a number 1 hit that sounded so much like Prince that many people still think it's his song? That was Oh Sheila by Ready for the World, which topped both R&B and pop charts in 1985. Ironically, despite the title, the song wasn't about Sheila E., Prince's drummer. Band members claimed it was about a composite of different women they knew. The band's fade from prominence was so complete that by the 1990s, many casual listeners had mistakenly filed Oh Sheila in their memories as a Prince song, the Italian jungle pop novelty that conquered America. If you were anywhere near a radio in 1985, you couldn't escape that weird jungle-themed song with the guy singing "oh, oh, 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 oh" in a thick accent. That was Tarzan Boy by Baltimora, which reached number 13 on the Billboard Hot 100. The song's infectious chorus and jungle-inspired yodeling made it perfect for MTV. McShane's monkey-like arm movements in the video even sparked a brief dance craze. Despite being a novelty hit, the song kept reappearing in movies like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles III, Listerine commercials, and even had a minor chart comeback in 1993, the art pop gem too sophisticated for its time. In 1985, a band with an impossible-to-pronounce name somehow managed to crack the American Top 40 with a song too sophisticated for pop radio. That was Perfect Way by Scritti Politti, which reached number 11 on the Billboard Hot 100. Led by Welsh philosopher-turned-musician Green Gartside, Scritti Politti blended intellectual lyrics with glossy production that was both avant-garde and catchy. The song's complex chord patterns and jazz-influenced harmonies stood out from typical mid-80s hits. The band evolved from post-punk experimentalists into slick pop producers while keeping their smart lyrics. Most listeners probably missed the philosophical wordplay while dancing to its chorus. The Duran Duran side project that briefly outshone the original. At the height of Duran Duran's fame, 3 members formed a side project that scored a top 10 hit before quickly disappearing. Election Day by Arcadia reached number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1985. Arcadia consisted of Simon Le Bon, Nick Rhodes, and Roger Taylor, who created a more atmospheric art house version of their main band's sound. They explored experimental territory while the other Duran Duran members pursued their own side project, The Power Station. The song featured Grace Jones and a moody, film noir-inspired music video. With its complex arrangement and political undertones, Election Day showed a more mature sound than Duran Duran's earlier teen-oriented hits, a soulful hit that wasn't actually a one-hit wonder. Here's a trick question. What was Eurythmics' one-hit wonder from 1985? The answer is they weren't a one-hit wonder at all, but many Americans misremember Would I Lie to You as their only success. The song reached number 5 on Billboard in 1985, showing a dramatic shift from their synth-pop roots to a horn-driven R&B approach that surprised fans. What made this song stand out was Annie Lennox's powerful vocals and the video featuring her in a blonde bouffant wig and red dress, miles away from her androgynous orange-haired image from earlier videos. The song's success actually came after Sweet Dreams and Here Comes the Rain Again, but many casual listeners remembered this track in isolation. This perception likely comes from how different Would I Lie to You sounded. The horn section and bluesy approach were such a departure that people didn't connect it to their earlier synth-heavy hits. These 10 songs from 1985 represent a snapshot of a year when musical boundaries were pushed in every direction, from synth-pop to R&B to art rock. These tracks were everywhere before disappearing from radio. What's fascinating is how these songs stay in our memories. Even when we've forgotten who sang them, they've become part of our life soundtrack, taking us back to specific moments when we hear those opening notes. Next time you're feeling nostalgic for the mid-80s, try listening to these forgotten gems. You might be surprised how quickly the memories come back, and how good these songs still sound nearly 4 decades later.